Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Alex and I share my sewing and knitting mates with you here, and that's exactly what I'm going to do today. I've got something to show you that I've finished, so I'll just pop my cup of tea down and yeah, I'll just jump straight in. So the first thing that I wanted to show you, and one of the reasons why I'm recording today, was that I finished my tracer. I think it was probably about a month ago that I had a last video up, and I think you'll remember I didn't have one of the sleeves. I'm not sure if I'd finished one sleeve, but yeah, she's finished. So let me see if I can stand up and show you. Yeah, so you can see I haven't in the original pattern, which is a Jennifer Steingast pattern for Lane, she actually has another motif that runs along the bottom, and the same again on the sleeve, she has a little motif. So I've just omitted that, and all I've done is the ribbing at the bottom, and I've probably done the ribbing a bit longer than she did, but I just felt that I'm quite petite and I didn't, so it's not very long sweater, and I just felt like it broke up. I don't know, I just think for me, I felt more comfortable with it just having the yoke and then this being totally smooth. It kind of like elongated the body, and the same with the sleeves. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, kind of just keeps flowing rather than breaking my body up here and then having another line here. I just really liked the look of it being more simple, and it saved me a ball of wool. So the actual yarn that I used was the Let Lopi. It's an Icelandic wool, so it's got a very a really rustic kind of very, I don't know how I'd describe it. I think some people probably would find it, if you're not used to using these kind of wools where they don't have like a lot of merino or those like really super soft yarns, you might find it a bit prickly, but I don't find that it irritates my skin if I've got like a t-shirt on underneath. But I think some people would find it irritates their skin. Probably if you're a new knitter and this was the first skein you picked up, you'd think, oh, it's kind of, yeah, it's definitely got that kind of rustic, like slightly kind of crisp feel to it. I found that in blocking, people have said, oh, it really softens up. I didn't find that it's particularly softened up, but I did feel that it really like loosened up and relaxed the stitches. So I think because it's got so many colours around the top, this is obviously quite thick inside. You can see if I can show you my floats. You can see that's what it looks like on the inside with all the floats. So that's obviously like a more stiffer portion, but I felt like it really relaxed the body. When I first tried it on, it felt almost like I wished I'd maybe sort of knit a little bit wider on the body, but actually once I blocked it, as I say, it relaxed and it just felt so much more comfortable to wear, and it's a really nice shape. I haven't done any waist shaping. This is just straight from when I split for the sleeves. I didn't do any waist shaping, which I really like. It's quite a fitted sweater, so I felt that it didn't really need it to go in anymore. I just felt like it was fine to kind of skim over the waist, and I really like that look, so I didn't do any of those modifications. But if you I'll put all the details in the show notes, as I always do, and they're over on my website, alexcollinsdesigns.com, and they're on the blog page. So if you put /blog, you'll probably see it. It'll be the first one at the top. And there'll also be a link below this video if you're watching on YouTube, so you can jump straight over to the show notes, and I'll list all the colours that I've used, and there'll be a link to my Ravelry page where I've noted any of the modifications I've done, such as not using the motifs at the bottom, but I think that's pretty self-explanatory. You just don't add them in. But yeah, so I hope you like my sweater as much as I do. I'm really, really pleased that I've got it finished. It's been something that's been on my needles for a really long time, and as the weather's heating up, I was desperate to get it finished because I thought I probably haven't got that much time to, well, to be honest, it's been too hot. I haven't really worn it since I've cast off, so probably a bit limited to how much wear it will get. But it'll be really nice when it goes into the autumn winter later this year. It'll feel like I've got a brand new piece in my wardrobe to wear, so I'm really excited. And I think I said this, that it's the Trace the Sweater, and it's by Jennifer Steingast, and she designed it for Lane magazine, but I think the individual pattern might be available. I have it in the magazine. I think it might have been issue 3. It was one of the earlier issues, and but yeah, it's available on Ravelry, I think, as an individual pattern. So yeah, so I'll pop all the details below, and if you want to get the show notes to your email, I also do that. So lots of you have already signed up, and that's probably why you're watching this video now, because you got the email saying a new video had gone live, and then it lists all the details of everything that I've mentioned today right in your inbox, so you can just click across and see all the fabrics and the yarn and all that kind of thing. Everything's all there for you. So that's the first thing that I've got to show you. And the next knitty thing is in one of my bags. I'm excited to show you this. I think I showed you last time these Spring Bees sacks that I've been doing, and I just love them. And I've got through all my pre-orders, and all of the orders that people placed in the last update have all gone out, so I finally felt that I could justify taking one of these for myself. So I've got a new update going up. Actually, when this video goes live, the shop will have been restocked, so if you want to get one of these, you can jump across over to the shop and they should be in stock. So this was actually taken from the batch that I was making for this next shop update, and I thought I really need one of these bags, so I was happy to take one of these from the shop. And inside this is also a project that I started a very long time ago. Actually, it was probably almost a year to the day, because I remember taking this, it's the Hipster Shawl by Joji Locatelli, and I took this when we went to Croatia. I was knitting this on the plane, and that was May last year, so I've definitely had this on the needles for a month, and I think I actually cast it on as my travel knitting, because as you can see, it's lots of garter stitch. And then you do have these, it's going to be a bit tricky, I'll see if I can stretch it out a little bit. There's, I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but it has like a sort of chevron design, this section. And then it's got these really decorative kind of big lacy stitches. I don't know what, I can't remember what they call these in the pattern. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. The as you can see, it's quite bunched up on the needles now, so I think I've got almost 300 stitches on here at the moment, which means that each row is taking quite a long time. I'm not the speediest of knitters, but I'm very close to doing the last section of these, and then you just do a few more rows of garter and then I'll bind off. And it's really cute, actually. It's got like these lovely little tassels that go all around the hem, or I don't know, would you call it the hem? Where you bind off the shawl, you've got these like little tassels that kind of come from each of these sections. I think actually I have a picture, let me show you that. But yeah, I think I was about to say that it was quite a good travel project, because there's lots of garter, but then every now and then you've got something interesting to do, but it's actually not that taxing on the brain. It's not like doing lace where every other row is different. You kind of do, there's like 2 or 3 rows where you have to do something, and then yeah, you kind of follow the chevron pattern, and then you're back to a load more garter stitch. But I have got a tiny picture, I don't know if that's worth showing you, if you can see. I think that's focusing, but you can see that's the Hipster Shawl, and I'm knitting that in Fiberco Luma, which you've probably seen on here lots before, because I've knit quite a few things in Luma. I've mentioned before on here that I work for a fibre company. I do a few hours each week for them, so I get to use all the lovely wool, and I'm always inspired to cast something new on with yarn. So I've knit a few sweaters, and next I'm kind of thinking that I'd like to do a cardigan. I'm thinking maybe even in this colour, but I'd really like to have something for the spring or the summer that you can just kind of, like a little v-neck cardigan or something that I could throw on over whatever I'm wearing, because in the UK it often gets quite chilly if you're out and about, so it's always nice to have a little, like a small cardigan that I could just throw in my bag. So I was thinking this is quite good. It's a good spring summer weight, because it's got, I can't remember the exact, oh hold on, here we go, I've got the tag. So you can see this is quite a full bore. I've just had to wind up another skein. So it's Luma, and it has 50% wool, 25% cotton, 15% linen and 10% silk, so it's a really nice kind of warm weather yarn. It's very light, it's not going to make you too hot. Obviously, if you're somewhere really, really hot, then it's probably not a summer weight, but in the UK, I could definitely wear this, not on the hottest day, but it's nice for like a cardigan or a sweater on those days when you want an extra layer. So yeah, that's what I've got on the needles at the moment, and as you can see, it's really, really grown. It probably doesn't look that attractive on the all bunched up on my needle. Try and stretch it out a little bit for you there, but hopefully, probably, I feel like I've been putting up a video about once a month, so maybe in a month's time I will have got to the end and I'll be able to show you what it looks like, all nicely blocked. I think these sections are going to block out really nicely. So yeah, so that's what I've got for knitting. I don't really have anything else for knitting. I'm still working on my truss cardigan, but I haven't put any more rows on, I don't think, since I showed you that last time. So I'm not going to show you that today, but I think that's probably what I will be working on next now I've finished my tracer sweater. And yeah, in the evenings this has just been my kind of mindless knitting. I think I felt like picking it up again just because it's been quite nice here. We've had some really nice spring days and it just felt like the right time to kind of pick up this sort of project. I felt like knitting that. But yeah, I'm kind of at a bit of a loss what to do next. I mean, I probably shouldn't be casting on another project when I'm still supposed to be doing my truss cardigan, because that seems a bit silly to have two garments, but you know, as soon as you cast off one thing, that's the next thing. Your mind goes straight to what can I cast on next. So I've been kind of playing around with the idea of doing a Tanya, which I think is a Caitlin Hunter pattern, Boyle and Knitworks. I mean, so many people have knit them, but Ruth, I think her brand's called Rain Clouds and Sage. I would double check and pop that in the show notes. But Ruth, who I follow on Instagram, she has done a really lovely version in like a really deep red. I think it was, I want to say that it's either Manos del Uruguay or Malabrigo. That doesn't narrow it down, but she has her project on Ravelry, so if you look at the Tanya tees, you'll see her lovely project. It's really gorgeous red, and it's kind of got me itching to cast one on, but yeah, I can't decide. I'm not really sure if it is something that I would really wear in my wardrobe. I've never really knit sort of like a t-shirt or something that I would think of as like a spring top. I don't think I've really ever done that. I've always kind of knit cardigans or sweaters, so I was sort of thinking, would I really want to wear something, if it's hot enough that I'd just be wearing a t-shirt, would I want to wear something that's made of wool? So, but I don't know, so many people have knit them and they all look really pretty. I love it's got this beautiful, if you haven't seen it, it's got like a really lovely lace detail at the bottom and it comes up, and most people, they kind of have like it's a short sleeve, but they're fairly long short sleeves, I'd say. So some people have kind of done them capped, or they've changed the sleeve length a bit, because I think a lot of people probably find that length a little bit awkward to wear. But yeah, it's a really, really pretty top. So I'm kind of leaning towards, I think I might order some yarn for that over the weekend. We've got a holiday weekend coming up. We've got the Monday off, so it'd be quite nice to order some yarn and have a new project cast on over the bank holiday. So might do that. The other project that I've got to show you is, well, I'll start by saying, so what I'm wearing today is the Miyazoti dress by Deer and Doe, which I showed you in my last video and you've probably seen on my Instagram. I'll just come a little bit closer so you can see it's got these really lovely little buttons, and yeah, it's got, so in the original pattern, you kind of, the buttons come down to the waist and then it's got a gathered waistline. I think the only mods I made, I've made the sleeves slightly shorter. But so I'm showing you that to say that I've actually started another one, but I've made some modifications to this. So you'll see this is another Myosotis dress. If I just stand up, you can see that I've actually run the buttons all the way along. I've kind of made it full length. Oh, is the camera going to focus? Yeah. I feel like it might rain in a minute. It suddenly got really dark. I don't know if you've noticed that, but yeah, this is the camera on my screen. It's showing up a little bit more like it's almost like a maroony red, but in real life it leans more to a purple. But yeah, you can see, so everything else about it is the same. I haven't finished hemming the sleeves and I haven't finished hemming the bottom, but all I've done is I've taken the original pattern and I split the skirt portion into two sections, and I just carried on the facing. So in the original pattern you've got a facing in here, and which obviously stops when you get to the waist. So I've carried this facing on all the way down to the hem of this. And yeah, so instead of gathering the front and the back piece, I gathered two front pieces and the back piece and joined them on to the top. And you can see I've used these really nice buttons that I picked up in John Lewis. So I think they're often like referred to as horn buttons, but I don't really think these are made from horn. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, I really, really like that style, and I thought it made it like a little bit different. One of the reasons for me adapting the pattern was I've talked to you before about the mood boards that I make each season, and let's see, where is it? Here it is. So can you see? I'll add this to the show notes so you can see a bit clearer, because I don't know if it'll come up that well on the screen. But basically, like, I've reinterpreted this dress here using the Maya Sotis. So this has got the buttons that go all the way through. I've actually this is a funny story, because it started out life as this colour, and yeah, this was not, I mean, I don't know, on the camera it doesn't look that great, but when I'd done the whole dress in this fabric, to be honest, I ordered this online and it was a lot more vibrant than I thought it was going to be. I knew it was going to be this sort of like peachy coral, but I thought it was going to be more muted, whereas this is quite a punchy coral. And yeah, when I'd done the whole dress, it was really bad with my skin tone. It completely washed me out. It really wasn't a good look. So I was feeling really deflated and disappointed, because I'd put quite a lot of work into it already at the stage when I realised this wasn't gonna look like how I was imagining. And I've actually dyed the fabric. So so this was I think it was Dylon, and it was like they do a special dye that goes in the machine. So I picked that up from John Lewis at the same time I got these buttons. And yeah, so I actually dyed the fabric. So it's not quite the like springy colour that I was hoping for, but actually I really like this kind of dark aubergine-y purpley colour. But all that to say that, I mean, as you probably know, that if you are dyeing fabrics, it works really well with natural fibres. That anything like my thread, I think, was a polyester blend, or I thought it might not have been 100% cotton. So I didn't do any of the hemming or any stitching that would show. I stopped at that point, dyed the dress, and then I'm going to go back in. I put any leftover fabric in the machine, so I've got this bit so I can sew some pockets on, which I think will be really nice. I'm going to do two big patch pockets. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what it's like where you are in the world, but here it's quite a popular style at the moment to have these kind of like almost like midi length kind of linen. This is a linen blend that I got from Minerva Crafts. Yeah, they're kind of last year I kind of lived in these dresses. I had a few strappy versions, so that's why I thought as soon as I'd done this dress and I had my reference point on my mood board, I thought, yeah, this would be like a really good combination. It would look really nice. So I'll talk to you quickly about this, because I have mentioned it before, but what I kind of do with these mood boards is that each season I pull together lots of references that I like and styles that I think I would like to not necessarily make the whole outfit, but just as like a vibe and a general idea of what I like. And then I just find it makes it so much easier when I'm fabric shopping or when I'm looking at patterns. I can kind of refer back to my mood board and think, okay, does this actually fit with what I want to wear this season? Because I find it's really easy when you're making things to kind of get swept along with what's trendy or what everyone else is making, and sometimes it's not actually quite right for what would work in my wardrobe or what pieces I need in my wardrobe. So like, for example, have I got it here? Yeah, I've bought some white linen that I've got also at Minerva Crafts, and I'm thinking that I'm going to do either this one, will that focus? Yeah, so like a little, I'm thinking like an Ogden cami with the kind of buttons that I used on my my Soti's dress, and there's another one, yeah, here it is. There's another great kind of linen top. So yeah, so I'm kind of working through that at the moment. There's a couple of things. I really like this bag. It's not really an outfit, but I love this. I want to try and do something like that this season. I've got a bag really similar style to that that I bought from Etsy. I don't know, probably like 3-4 years ago. A really nice leather bag with almost like the exact same dimensions it looks like. But this would be like a really nice summer version if I did it in a light canvas, and I love the stripy lining, so I think that would be really nice. So yeah, so that's what's coming next. I've got my white linen to do that. And as I said, I'm kind of mulling over the idea of doing a Tanya. I really want to do, as I said, like a little white v-neck cardigan that I can throw over anything, but I just can't find the right pattern. You'd think that'd be something that's really easy. I think maybe I'll have to just use an existing v-neck pattern and just crop it, because what I want is a more almost like just kind of hits the waist. That's, yeah, I don't want it to be a longer cardigan. I just want something really small, lightweight, light colour, so maybe like a white or a cream that I can just put over anything. So yeah, so that's kind of the idea, and I think you can probably see if you go and look at the show notes, so you can have a look properly at all the pieces. I really want to do like some nice tops and blouses. I've got quite a lot of basics in my wardrobe, but over the last few years I've kind of built up my sweaters, and I've got quite a few t-shirts and all those kind of like basic pieces that I feel like now I can do a few more fun pieces, like my Soti's dress, because I've kind of got those key bits in my wardrobe. They're the bits that you kind of wear every single day, whereas I feel like now I want to put a few like nice kind of special pieces in there. But as I've said, I think I've said before that I try now to be led by the fabric rather than by the pattern, because I think I get tunnel vision and I can visualize exactly what I want something to be. So if I see a pattern that I like, or I get an idea on Pinterest or something on Instagram, I have the exact garment in my mind, and then it is so hard to find the fabric that fits with what you want that vision to be. So I have found that it's been working much better to go the opposite way and kind of be really open-minded, and like I said, kind of have a guide with my mood board, and I bookmark loads of stuff on Pinterest, so I've always got lots of reference points, but just keep my mind open, go to fabric shops, go to yarn stores when I can, and just have a look and see what I'm drawn to, and then use that to lead my making decisions. So if I see like a really nice lightweight floaty material that I think, oh yeah, that's perfect for a blouse, I can then go back to my references and see what patterns I've got. I know that I was looking at one, I think it was a Sew Over It pattern, I think it was called Libby, where it was like a little collared shirt, and that'd be really cute. But then equally, if I saw some jersey that was like a heavier weight jersey, I might be like, oh, that's a sweatshirt jersey, because it's so hard when you're buying online, you just can't tell with things like jersey sometimes what they'll want to be, because is it going to be a drapey t-shirt, it's going to be a fitted t-shirt, like there's just so many considerations. So I've just found that it's so much easier if I find the fabric first and then see what does that fabric, what would that look best in. So that's what I've been doing. And what else have I got? I think that's everything. I feel like I didn't have a lot to show you today, but I like to kind of keep you updated and just come in every now and then and have a quick chat and let you know what I'm up to. But yeah, I'm not super prolific. I know some of these YouTube channels are people, they could do a podcast every couple of weeks and they'd be pulling out all these different things they've been working on, but I kind of work a bit more monogamously on each piece and maybe have just a couple of items on the go each time. So, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will, as I say, I'll put everything I've talked about in the show notes below. And yeah, if you want to come over and have a look at the shop this weekend and pick up one of the bags, I'll have DPN cozies that go with these and have the Spring Bees pattern on, and I've got some little sock sacks, and there's some other bits in the shop as well. So yeah, come over and have a look this weekend if you've been wanting to get one of my bags, and and hopefully I'll speak to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.